Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Daily English Dialogues. I'm your host, Anna, and I am so happy to have you here with us today. Whether you are listening on your morning commute, while you're cooking dinner, or just relaxing at home, we appreciate you tuning in.
That's right. Hello, everyone. I'm Mark, and it's great to be back behind the microphone. Today, we have a topic that is really close to my heart. It's something we all think about, especially when the calendar flips to a new year or a new season.
Exactly. Today, we are discussing motivation, but specifically, we are asking the question, where do you see yourself this year? It's a big question, Mark.
It is a massive question, Anna. It sounds a bit like a job interview question, doesn't it? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? But today, we want to keep it friendly and personal. We want to talk about aspirations, goals, and how to actually make them happen.
I love that word, aspirations. It sounds much more inspiring than just to-do lists. So, Mark, let's kick things off. When you look at the year ahead, what is the general vibe or feeling you want to have?
That is a good way to start. Honestly, I want this year to be about consistency. In the past, I have been guilty of starting things with a lot of enthusiasm, that fire in your belly, but then burning out after 2 weeks. This year, I see myself being steady. Not necessarily fast, but steady. How about you?
I relate to that so much. For me, the word for this year is balance. Last year, I felt a bit overwhelmed. I was working hard, but I neglected my hobbies and my health a little bit. So when I ask myself, where do I see myself this year? I see myself being successful, but not at the cost of my mental health.
That is such a mature perspective. I think a lot of our listeners can understand that feeling of being overwhelmed. We often think that to be successful, we have to suffer or work 20 hours a day.
Exactly, and that is not sustainable. So today, we are going to break this down into three main areas: professional life, personal growth, and finally, the strategy, how we actually stay motivated.
Sounds like a plan. Let's dive into the professional side of things first.
Okay, Mark, let's get down to business, literally. When you visualize your career this year, what does it look like? I know you've been in marketing for a few years now. Are you looking for a big change, or are you happy where you are?
That is the big question. To be honest, for a long time, I was happy just to be a member of the team. I enjoyed having a list of tasks and just ticking them off. But this year feels different. When I look at the year ahead, I see myself taking on more leadership responsibilities.
Oh, that sounds exciting. But leadership is a broad word. What does that actually look like for you on a Tuesday morning?
Good point. I don't necessarily mean becoming the CEO or the big boss immediately. I mean taking initiative. Instead of waiting for my manager to tell me what to do, I want to pitch my own ideas. I see myself managing a project from start to finish, handling the budget, the timeline, and the team dynamics.
That is a great goal. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone. But Mark, leading a project means you are responsible if things go wrong. Does that scare you?
Absolutely. It's terrifying. I felt a bit stagnant last year, like I was just floating in the same place, not moving forward. I realized that if I want to grow, I have to accept the risk of failure. I see myself learning to delegate tasks this year.
Delegating is so hard. It's difficult to trust other people to do the work as well as you would do it yourself.
Exactly. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, but I know that to advance in my career, I cannot do everything alone. So my vision for this year is to be a collaborator, not just a lone wolf. What about you, Anna? You work in education. Is your vision similar?
It's a little different for me. I see myself focusing heavily on upskilling this year.
Upskilling. That's a buzzword we hear a lot these days. What does it mean for you specifically?
It means learning new skills to stay relevant. I've realized that to get to the next level in my field, I need to get certified in a few specific areas regarding digital teaching. I see myself studying in the evenings again.
That takes a lot of discipline. Working a full-time job and then studying at night?
That is a recipe for burnout if you aren't careful.
You're right, and I am worried about that. But honestly, Mark, I struggle a bit with imposter syndrome.
Really? You always seem so confident. For our listeners, can you explain what imposter syndrome is?
It's that nagging feeling that you aren't actually good enough or that you're a fraud and people will find out. Even though I have experience, I sometimes feel like I don't know enough. So getting these formal qualifications is my way of proving to myself, not just my boss, that I am capable.
That is such a vulnerable and honest admission, Anna. I think so many professionals feel that way. We just assume everyone else knows what they're doing.
Exactly. So my vision is to end the year with those certificates on my wall and a newfound sense of confidence. I also see myself working on my soft skills.
Soft skills are things like communication, empathy, and adaptability, right? Versus hard skills like coding or accounting.
Yes, I'm naturally a bit shy, an introvert really. So standing up in a staff meeting and giving a presentation makes my hands sweat. But this year, I see myself raising my hand more often. I see myself speaking up in meetings, even if my voice shakes a little bit.
That is powerful. Speaking up even if your voice shakes. I like that. It connects back to networking too.
Ugh, networking is the worst. Walking into a room full of strangers and trying to make small talk.
It is painful, but it is necessary. It's not what you know, it's who you know, as the saying goes. Do you have a strategy for that?
My strategy is to start small. I see myself attending one industry event per quarter, just one. And my goal isn't to meet everyone, it's just to have one meaningful conversation.
That is a very practical approach, quality over quantity. If you can imagine yourself having a nice coffee chat with a peer, it feels much less scary than networking.
Precisely. It shifts your mindset. Instead of seeing it as selling myself, I see it as sharing ideas.
I have one more question for you regarding our careers. The workplace is changing so fast with technology and AI. Does your vision for this year include adapting to that?
It has to. I cannot ignore it. I see myself experimenting with new tools rather than fearing them. I want to be the person in the office who says, hey, let's try this new software, rather than the person who complains about change.
That is the definition of being adaptable. Employers love that.
So, to summarize our professional vision, you see yourself taking the lead and learning to delegate. I see myself getting qualified, overcoming imposter syndrome, and speaking up more.
That sounds like a solid year of growth. It's going to be hard work, though.
It will be, but as we said, if we don't have a vision, we just drift, and I am tired of drifting.
Me too. Let's make this year count.
All right, let's move away from work. We spend so much time talking about our careers, but we are more than just our job titles, right?
I certainly hope so. If I am just Anna the teacher, that's a very small life.
Exactly. So let's shift gears. When you close your eyes and picture your personal life this year, your health, your downtime, your passions, what do you see?
Well, first and foremost, I see myself developing a healthier relationship with exercise. In the past, I viewed exercise as a punishment. I would eat a pizza, feel guilty, and then force myself to run on a treadmill for an hour. It was a toxic cycle.
Ah, the guilt workout. I think many of our listeners know that feeling. It's not sustainable, is it?
No, it's not. You quit after 2 weeks. So this year, I see myself doing low-impact activities that I actually enjoy. I see myself getting back into hiking. I want to be the person who spends their Sunday morning in nature, not sleeping in until noon.
That sounds restorative.
It is. I visualize myself reaching the top of a hill, breathing fresh air, and feeling strong physically. It's about stamina and mental clarity, not just the number on the scale. I want to feel capable.
I love that word, capable. It's empowering. What about your creative side? You used to paint, didn't you?
I did, but I haven't picked up a brush in years. I always say I don't have time, but that is just an excuse. I spend 2 hours on my phone every night. Clearly, I have time.
That's a hard truth. We prioritize what matters to us.
Exactly. So I see myself setting up a small art station in my apartment. Even if I only paint for 20 minutes a week, I want to reclaim that creative outlet. It helps me unwind after a stressful day. What about you, Mark?
Well, going back to my word consistency, I see myself finally tackling my nutrition.
Oh, are you going on a diet?
No, I hate the word diet. It sounds temporary. I want a lifestyle change. I realized I rely way too much on convenience food. Takeout, pre-made sandwiches, processed stuff. It's expensive and it makes me feel sluggish.
So, do you see yourself wearing an apron and chopping vegetables?
I do. I see myself meal prepping on Sundays. I want to learn 5 core recipes that I can cook from memory. Nothing fancy, just good, honest food. I think cooking is a tangible skill. By the end of the year, I will either be a better cook or I won't. It's easy to measure.
And it's a skill that serves you forever. Plus, it's better for your wallet.
Ideally, yes. But beyond the physical stuff, I have a big goal regarding my digital well-being.
Digital well-being? You mean your phone usage?
Yes. I took a look at my screen time report last week, and honestly, Anna, it was embarrassing. I wasted hours just doom scrolling, looking at bad news or other people's perfect lives on social media.
It is so addictive. It's designed to keep us hooked. So what is your vision? A complete detox?
No, that's unrealistic. I need my phone for work and maps, but I see myself establishing boundaries. For example, no screens in the bedroom.
That is a game changer. I started doing that last month. I bought an old-fashioned alarm clock so I don't use my phone to wake up.
And how is it going?
The first few nights were weird. I didn't know what to do with my hands. But now I sleep so much better. I read before bed instead of scrolling.
That is exactly what I want. I see myself becoming a reader again. I used to be a total bookworm when I was a student. Somewhere along the way, I lost that habit.
Reading is such a great way to improve your English, too.
It is. I see myself finishing 1 book a month. Fiction, biography, history, it doesn't matter. Just something that enriches my mind rather than distracting it.
I think that is the key theme for us this year, Mark. We want to choose hobbies that give us energy rather than activities that drain us.
Well said. Whether it's hiking, painting, cooking, or reading, it should add value to your life.
So for our listeners, here's a question. When you have free time, do you actually feel free or do you just feel bored?
Ooh, that is a deep question. If you're just killing time, maybe you need to find a new vision for your personal life this year.
Exactly. Don't just exist, live.
So, we have the vision. We see the career growth, we see the hiking and the cooking. But Mark, let's be real for a moment. It is easy to be motivated in January. The real challenge is, how do we feel in March or October?
Exactly. That is when the new start energy fades away. Life gets in the way. You get sick, you get tired, work gets busy, or it just rains for a week straight.
We call that the slump. So, how do we bridge the gap between I see myself doing this and actually doing it when we don't feel like it? What is the strategy?
For me, it comes down to shifting focus from goals to systems. A goal is, I want to write a book. A system is, I will write 200 words every morning at 7 a.m. no matter what.
I love that distinction. The goal is the destination, but the system is the vehicle that gets you there. But what if you're too tired at 7 a.m.?
That is where environment design comes in. Have you heard of this? It's about changing your surroundings to make the good habit easier and the bad habit harder.
Oh, like putting your running shoes right next to your bed?
Exactly. If I have to search for my shoes, find my socks, and look for my headphones, I'll probably give up. But if everything is ready the night before, I've removed the friction. I just wake up and go.
That makes sense. I do the opposite for my bad habits. I unplug my TV sometimes. If I want to watch it, I have to physically plug it in and wait for it to load. That extra 20 seconds makes me think, do I really want to watch this or should I read my book?
That is brilliant. You're making the bad habit annoying to do. Another technique I love is habit stacking.
Habit stacking. That sounds interesting. How does it work?
It's simple. You take a habit you already do every day, like brushing your teeth or making coffee, and you stack a new habit on top of it.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Let's say you want to improve your English listening. You already drink coffee every morning, right? So the rule becomes, after I pour my coffee, I will immediately play a 5-minute English news podcast. The coffee is the trigger.
I like that. You don't have to find extra time, you just use the time you already have. It builds momentum.
Precisely. But Anna, what happens when we fail? Because we will fail. There will be days when we just want to lie on the sofa and do nothing.
I think we have to talk about the 2-day rule.
I love this rule. Please explain it for the listeners.
It's simple. It's okay to miss one day. Maybe you're sick or you're traveling, but you're never allowed to miss 2 days in a row.
That is crucial. Missing one day is a mistake. Missing 2 days is the start of a new, lazy habit.
Exactly. If you miss your Monday study session, don't beat yourself up. Don't quit. Just make sure you show up on Tuesday. It stops the all or nothing mentality.
Many people think, oh, I ruined my diet today by eating cake, so I might as well eat everything else and quit. That is dangerous thinking.
We need to be flexible, not rigid. If you plan to go to the gym but you're exhausted, maybe just go for a 10-minute walk instead. Keep the habit alive even if the intensity is lower.
I also think we need to mention accountability. It is so much harder to quit if someone else is watching.
Yes, I am using an accountability partner for my studies this year. I have a colleague who is also taking exams. We check in every Friday. If I haven't done my work, I have to buy her lunch.
That's a great incentive. A little bit of social pressure works wonders. You don't want to let your friend down.
Finally, I think we need to celebrate small wins. Often we wait until we achieve the big goal, like getting the promotion, to feel happy. But that might take a year.
That's too long to wait for a reward.
Exactly. If you manage to study for 3 days in a row, that's a win. Buy yourself a nice coffee, pat yourself on the back. It releases dopamine in your brain and makes you want to do it again.
Motivation isn't magic, is it? It's just a series of small, smart choices.
It really is. It's about building a lifestyle where success is the natural outcome, not a constant struggle.
We have covered a lot of ground today. We talked about professional leadership, learning new skills, getting healthy outdoors, cooking, and the systems to make it all work.
It feels good just talking about it. I feel more motivated already.
Me too. But now we want to turn the microphone over to our listeners. We want to ask you the same question.
Where do you see yourself this year?
Don't just say, I want to be better at English. Be specific. Do you see yourself watching a movie in English without subtitles? Do you see yourself traveling to an English-speaking country and ordering food confidently?
Or maybe you see yourself passing an exam like the IELTS or TOEFL. Whatever it is, visualize it clearly.
We challenge you to write down 3 things you see yourself achieving this year. 1 for your career or studies, 1 for your health, and 1 just for fun.
And if you're brave enough, share them in the comments section below. Writing them down makes them public, and that's the first step of accountability.
I really hope this conversation has given you some new vocabulary to talk about your goals, but more importantly, the inspiration to actually chase them.
Remember, a year is a long time. You can accomplish so much more than you think if you just stay consistent.
Thank you so much for listening to Daily English Dialogues. We'll be back next time with more conversations to help you improve your listening and speaking skills.
Good luck with your goals, everyone. See you next time.
Bye!